Good morning. So this is definitely a different setup. I don't really enjoy vlogging from my car. I don't have all of the, technical things and, advances that other vloggers have. So you'll have to excuse my crude setup. But I wanted to come this morning and talk a little bit about not necessarily R. Kelly, but men like him and even women like him. And I don't know that man. All I know is what I read in the newspaper and what's been reported, of course, like most of you all. And so I really don't want to indict him. All I can do is really look at the behavior. And here's where I'm going with this. I have 4 children. If you've watched any of my vlogs, you know this. I have a child who just recently turned 18. As far as I'm concerned, she still has training wheels on. Her life experience is so vastly different coming out of high school, not really having any perspective about life or about what that means, not having any meaningful life experience. Up until this point, it's been about high school, prom, dating, all the teenagery kind of things. And now, we're easing her into the lovely pool called adulthood. And she's starting at the shallow end, of course. So when you have someone who is in their 50s or even in their late 40s who has double the life experience, double the cognitive awareness, double the psychological prowess, double, and sometimes triple the sexual experience of this newly minted adult, I'm leery about that. I really am. I don't know what kind of conversations you're actually having. I don't know what kind of communication you're actually able to have with this individual. I don't know what type of compatibility you might have with this person. So I don't want to interject myself into that. But needless to say, I would suggest that for most 18 to 21-year-olds, your conversation with a 50-year-old or 40-year-old is so imbalanced. You might find some common points of, connectivity and, some points of, shared interests, and you can galvanize around that. But as far as talking about life, real life experience and what you've been through and what you've encountered and honestly, that takes on a parental-child kind of relationship every single time, and there's no one that can really convince me otherwise. I don't see that level of maturity in an 18 or 20-year-old versus a 50-year-old. Now, unless that 50-year-old is woefully immature, has had no life experience, has had no learning opportunity, has had no growth, then maybe, yeah, I could see it. But just the development and the awareness is completely incompatible. And I have issues with that because you take someone who is still in innocent mode and still, trying to, find their legs, so to speak, in this big wide world, and you taint that, you interject all of this extra stuff into their lives and complicate it unnecessarily. And I don't know that these young adults are better for the experience. And then I have to suggest that, girls especially, young women especially with daddy issues. If you've seen my last vlog, I speak about daddy issues and how that plays out and how it definitely influences selecting a mate. And I want to be clear, just because someone's father is there, just because they don't have an absentee dad, or just because their dad saw them on a daily basis, or a continual basis, does not mean that that woman does not have daddy issues. That's not what that means at all. You can have abandonment, rejection issues with your parent, father or mother, and have that mother be there every day, or have that father be there every day. One does not exclude the other. So I want to be careful to say that. So I don't know, this situation. Like I said, I don't want to really touch on that because I think that as a parent, I feel for those families. I will go get mine. I'm telling you, I will hurt everything moving. I will go get mine. I will use every recourse that I have available to try and bring her home safely. But, so my heart definitely goes out to that family. But at the same time, I'm thinking about other family members and other young ladies and young men possibly who may be involved in these situations, and they're not with anybody famous. They're not with anybody who has money. They're not with anybody who can sing or, who can give a great concert. They're not in those situations, but yet and still the psychological hold and the psychological manipulation and the pull is so immense and so just attractive until they just don't have the wherewithal to break free. So, I really want to kind of just talk, because it really is disturbing to me. And I will say this, when I was about 15, I had a 35-year-old approach me. And I'm not going to really go into a whole lot of detail. It was a church environment. And, this guy was very suave. He was very debonair to a 15-year-old. Like, I just think about that all the time. And that's probably why I have such a strong reaction to what I'm hearing in the media now. I really pray, and my heart goes out to the young ladies involved, and I pray that if they are not there because they want to be, that they will find the strength and the courage to break free. And I really hope that if they are there under their own volition, and they are fully conscious of the decisions that they're making, that the decision is the best one for them, and that they don't have any delusions of grandeur or any ideas that things will turn out differently for them than they have for other people. I don't know. If you have any commentary, leave it below. As always, I welcome your feedback and your interaction. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will check y'all later on. Bye.